Okay, folks, good afternoon. Well, the session this morning, I dawned upon me that I needed to. I had a bill that I wanted to do just based on the name of it, and I searched for it, and I couldn't find it, I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it. And I had a stash, you had another stash of vehicles that are open over here, and it's in here. So it took me a little while to find it, but I did. I was like, did I build it? I was looking through my built cars. No, I didn't do it. So I'm going to at least entertain doing this vehicle right here. It's got some blingy wheels. I hope they're in here. If not, we'll just go in a different direction. Let's get the super readers on. Let's find the blingiest wheels of them all. Probably should put these things together so they're all together. This is the wheels to this SUV. Who's that even buy? Matchbox. Truck camper. This is this pickup truck. It's a standard Chevy pickup truck. This is the wheels to. This is the wheels to this. Okay. And it's missing a set of wheels, and it's got those funky looking. I hope it's in here. Let's see if we can put these things together. This is that vehicle, and actually has a little remote control car, or a little car of some sort. Well, I don't care if this has windows because this does fit in here, right? Yeah, we could put mesh across it, so it's not really important. We do need to find that other wheel, but they all kind of match. I don't know why it wouldn't be in here. I mean, I could replace all of them. This is the wheels for it. It could use some bigger wheels. These white walls. I believe these white walls go with this body. Yep. And it goes with that, and that goes here. Oh, and it's all missing a whole front. Okay, so this loose front is the front that goes here. Okay, got it. So that's this guy. Okay. This one's another one with white wheels, white walls. I believe it's this one. No, it's this one. Sure is. Okay, that has a short window. I don't remember what color it was. It was blue one. Yep. Okay. That's together. This one has this window probably. It's probably like this. Oh. Yep. Okay. That interior that goes on this body. Yep. These three cars are for the Los Mexicanos, lowriders. Okay. I want to say this guy's windows are a weird color. Oh, here. The Scorpion, I guess it's some kind of comic book character I've never heard of. Never claimed to be a science book, comic book nerd. Okay, the undercarriage to this one is not appearing in this film. Sir, not appearing in this film. Yeah, I don't know where the bottom of this is. Is it this? It is this. Man, that doesn't look like it goes at all. It's called Jaded. This is a cool vehicle. It's a very cool vehicle. Okay, the James Bond car, which honestly I think the only thing I'm going to do to it is add the rocket launcher. Probably something like that. Weather it. My vehicle. My personal vehicle. What else do we have here? We have some wheels that don't have a home. What is this? This is the inside of the camper. So this goes like this with this little door, and the camper goes over it like so. There we go. And then this goes like this. Snaps shut. Pretty cool vehicle. It's like some kind of zombie RV. So this is all together. This is all together. I don't know who the hell this is the cap to. It might be the one for the Morris Minor now that I think about it. But we didn't need it for that. I don't know who the hell these wheels go to. But I'll tell you what, I don't know who they go to. And there's two bigger ones and a small one. So, do these wheels fit here? Yes. And they got a little bit bigger, so I might just have found the replacement here. Let's remove one of these. Is there something to hold them down? There is. Okay, good. Because this is the vehicle I wanted to do next. After having that after bringing it up in my conversation, this is the one I want to do next. See how this fits in here. We're going to remove this front one. And we'll put this in its place. There's people that sell aftermarket wheels and stuff like that on eBay. Man, the price on it just doesn't seem right. It costs a lot more than vehicles do. Better off buying, you know, go to some toy store and look at vehicles that are already, you know, you get the whole vehicle for, and then just use the wheels on them. Alright, let's see if we can close this guy up. Let's see if this fits. So I actually like these wheels better than these, and I couldn't find one of them, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Now the wheel in the front is smaller than the ones in the back, and that's okay too. I think I like that better. Yeah, okay, let's carefully put these in the box. Okay. We're not going to put these wheels back. They're going to be, you know, replaceable parts. This is the tank. Yeah, all this stuff was on my table, and I cleared everything up. And in doing so, lost track of where the hell they were. So, these have all been like clear coated brown. They're like good to go. Okay. Excellent. All right. This is going to be toe jam. So let's build toe jam. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this nonsense. Anything loose on there? No. This side's already also compromised. Alright, well, we're going to need a cutting board here. So this is the body. It is a Matchbox. I don't know. It didn't say what it is. From 1981. Okay, we are going to need the hot glue gun fired up. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're almost done with this one, so let's get another round ready. Never would I have thought that I would have gone through this much hot glue. It came like 75 sticks or something like that, or I forget if I bought it separately or something. I'm like, there's no way I'll go through 75 sticks. Well, we've gone through 2/3 of it. Is that what 75 mini sticks? 70, yeah. I've probably gone through 40 sticks of it. 45. It's good. It's good to use the things you buy. All right. At the ready. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of tilted down a little bit, which is great. Okay, so let's get the rule book. Let's get the rule book. And I'm going to start kind of in an unusual place. And normally I would pick what kind of a vehicle it is. I mean, I'm looking at it, it's probably heavy truck. Certainly truck, heavy truck. One of those things. However, the most important thing that this thing has is the tow hook, the tow hitch. Okay, so the tow hitch in this game is going to behave like a grabber arm. Okay, so it uses up a build slot. Okay, so I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Grabber, arm. Okay, It's 6 points, and it's going to use one build slot. Now we're back to what kind of a vehicle it is. It's not a monster truck. Heavy truck is heavyweight. It starts at 25 points. If we make it a 25-point vehicle, if you start at a 25-point vehicle, guarantee it's going to be like a 37-pointer or more. I don't think it's large enough to be like a 50-point vehicle. So 37 is what we're going to aim for. Okay, so I think it needs to be a heavy truck. Of course, the max gear is only 3. Crew is 4. I don't know where the hell they are in this vehicle, but I think if we make this a truck, it's got dualies in the back. I don't want to make it a truck. I want to make it a heavy truck. Okay? So this is called Toe Jam. All right. Is a heavy truck. It starts at 25 points and has 3 build slots. No, it has 5 build slots as a heavy truck. I may need to consider that. Because the problem is then you got a lot of build slots for a vehicle that's already at 25 points. And I don't want to make a 50-point vehicle. It just doesn't look like a 50-point vehicle. I've got other 50-point vehicles and they're a lot. Well, let's bring it out here. This is a 50-point vehicle. The bus is a 35-point vehicle, and so is the garbage truck, and it's like sized about the same size as a garbage truck. Let's not make it a 50-point vehicle. Okay. So with that said, we're already at 31 points. And if it's a heavy truck, we've got 4 build slots to use and only 6 points to use it on. So, I mean, even a Ram is going to jack things up. So, I think this might have to be a truck. I think it might have to be a truck. We need something that the core value is just cheaper. That's going to save me 10 points. And I'll only have 3 build slots. Alright, so we definitely have a grabber arm. Maximum speed of 3. Well, one of the things that we want with Toe Jam is it's going to have speakers on it, which don't have any effect in the game. I mean, I could put a thumper on it, but a thumper is 4 build slots. No, thumper is 4 points and 2 build slots. Let's get him out. Maybe they're not here. It's quite possible that they're not. Now, wall of amplifiers is something I can do, and it's going to use up 3 build slots and be relatively cheap. It's 4 points. Then we would just have 1 more build slot on it. I have to cut this down somehow. But you could just glue it like that. But I don't know. I'm not really digging that. I was just not really thinking of having it as a weapon. Just have these little speakers, these little cute speakers here. Let's think, where could we put these that would look appropriate? Seems kind of loose. Really loose. This thing had bling all over the place, blingy wheels, which I would have kept them. There's no reason I can't just paint those like gold and something like that. It is a vehicle for the brothers. A brotherly vehicle. Well, that kind of fits there. I mean, I could glue them to the side here. That'd be all right too. I don't think it should be a truck. I think it should be a heavy truck. You know, worst case scenario, it's 50 fucking points at 50 points, whatever. I just don't think. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be. It needs to be a heavy truck. Okay, so I think we settled on that. So we got 5 build slots. Grabber arm is going to be one of them. Okay, doesn't matter that it can't reach up here. You just have to pretend, right? Do we want a ram on it? Well, it's a slow freaking vehicle. Question is, do we need something that is a catch-up mechanism? Well, we don't want there's one skill here that you can always play. I think it's held for leather, but there's what gear can it get up to? Heavy truck. Max gear is 3. If you put a ram on it, it's going to be 4 points and it's going to use up a build slot. That's relatively cheap for that. These will be added to it and won't really have any skill. I got 3 other build slots to use for it. Let's see what we have here. I wouldn't use this. I wouldn't use this ram. It needs like a scoopy ram or a ramming or a, you know, something. Get the hell out the way. Let's see what else we got. So a whole bunch of rams in here. There's a whole bunch here. Those are really for rigs. There's a whole bunch there. There's some more there. Let's see what candidates we have here. I don't want any rolling ones. This is a great ram. I don't want a rolling one. What about these tubes of death? Well, the bad news is it covers up the front of it. The good news is, man, it's almost the exact width it needs to be. That's not too bad. That's really not too bad. That's not too bad. It's a possibility. I don't think these chains are aggressive enough. Although chains do go with I mean, I could put a ram on the rear. I'd use up some build slots. A front ram and a rear ram. Put an F here. Still have 2 build slots. And you can put like rockets in, you're like done. They got those little rockets that would fit up nicely up here. I mean, they don't look very, you know. What's up, Ben? Working on the toe jam. I did my counts of how many cars I have, and I'm off by probably 15. I found another stash of them. Those don't really fit up there. And the only thing I don't like about these little rockets is they look a little minimalist. Man, but they fit up there nicely. Maybe we will do them. Okay, speakers are going to happen. Speakers are going to happen. These will take up 2 build slots, so we'll leave the AKs off. Okay. I shouldn't be using AKs. We need them for the Russian team. We need them for Red Square. I don't know if that's what I'm going to call them, but it starts to sound pretty good. Okay, this is shaped for another vehicle that isn't this one. All right, this, let's remove this stuff so we can look at the front. This, I guess it's made to be, yeah, I'm trying too hard. If you're trying too hard, that's not the one. You know, these little chain things are cool for the back. For the front, not so much. Man, I almost need to like remove this back here. Cut that off. And then dangle this below it. Maybe. Okay, but this little one isn't going to cut it. Little one's not going to cut it. Little one's not going. Okay, too spiky. This. I don't know, it could work. That's not too bad. Shape's right. This is another one that's the same. This roundy thing, no. No. Which means that one's a no. That's a no. That's a no. I don't want to do rollers. That's alright, but I don't have to cut a lot down. No, not feeling it. This one. It's maybe a little too wide. No. This has this might be okay. And the only reason it might be okay is you got a whole chain motif going. You got chains on the back, chains on the front. Actually, this fits across here just fine, and we don't have to cut this down. So there's the one for the back. Do you want to use this one up front here? No. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so, maybe. This might be alright. I think this one on the front, this one on the back. That's looking to be the winner so far. These little cogs actually don't look bad. But no, I don't think I like these. Okay? And that's just a smaller. What about this barrier wall type thing? No. Okay, I think, no. These are our two. These are our two rams. Okay, we have a ram on the front, ram on the back. We got the little boom bing, bing bang boom. There's this little bing bang boom on there. We're gonna put rockets. Rockets are what, 4 or 5? I can never remember. Rockets are 5. And 2 build slots. Let's see how we're doing on the monies. 25 plus 5 is 30, 36. Yeah, 30, 36, and 4 is 40. And 4 is 44. Okay, it's going to have to be a 50-point vehicle. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. So the rest of it is, I'm going to put perks on the rest of it. Go back to perk land here. And let's see what we have. Now, this isn't really a competitive vehicle if you're using like a performance car. Okay? Because it only gets up to gear 3. But I think it could do okay with vehicles that have a gear 4, 3, 4, that kind of stuff. Okay. Aggression. Double barrel vehicles attack step up to 3 weapons with the crew fired may gain a +1 to hit. Okay. I mean, they'd just be pistols. Boarding party. This vehicle ignores the distractible, meaning the vehicle may attack during the attack step even if the vehicle is touching an obstacle. So that might not be bad because you got 4 guys that can fire pistols. If it rams somebody, they'll stay stuck. And they can all attack with their pistols and the rockets, really, also. So that might not be bad. Boarding party. You don't want to do boarding party when you don't really have a party on board. There are 4 people in the vehicle somewhere. So Battle Hammer, when making a smash attack, this vehicle gains +1 die for each hazard token it currently has. That could be nasty, but it costs 4 cans. I do have that. Terrifying Lunatic. He doesn't look like a terrifying lunatic. Grinder Man, no. Murder Tractor. I don't want him to do pile driver attacks. That's a little too much. This was not physically that big. The Butcher can definitely do power, but it's a bigger vehicle. Powder Keg, no. Road Warrior, nah. Dead weight. This vehicle is attack step. This vehicle may gain 2 hazard tokens, count as 1 weight class heavier and less heavyweight. It is. So that's useless to it. Barrel roll, no. Bruiser. In a collision involving this vehicle, if this vehicle declares a reaction other than evade against an enemy vehicle, the enemy vehicle immediately gains a hazard token. It's not bad, but that means we can't use Battle Hammer. The brothers already have a Battle Hammer vehicle. That's the Bully Goat, and it's nasty. I think we're going to have boarding party because we got a lot of people on there. Which is 2. Now we're up to 46. I like using the ones that have silly names that would be crowd pleaser. So that cost a point. Let's go to here. Let's go to weapons. What do we have that's crew fired? Steel nets. What's the rule for steel nets? Weapons hit not adds hazard tokens. Okay. Yeah. Blunderbuss. Like, who the hell would have that? Well, it's small burst. It's splash, which means it goes for everybody, but it's small burst, so it's like, how do you get 2 freaking people in that? Let's do grenades. times 2. That's going to be 2 points. So now we got 48. Blunderbuss just doesn't sound like something the brothers would have. Shotgun maybe, but shotgun's 4. So we could forego the grenades and take a shotgun instead. Let's go back up here to the skills. I'm going to do Taunt. At the start of this vehicle's attack step, roll a skid die. You roll something other than a shift result, you may place that skid dice onto the dashboard of a target vehicle within short range. So more than likely it's somebody they just rammed the previous turn. The skid dice result must be resolved during that vehicle's next movement step and may not be re-rolled. Taunt. And we get the 50. Toe jam it is. All right. Let's put these guys back in. And let's start gluing some of this stuff on here. Toe Jam and Earl. Well, I got this. I understand Earl had a El Camino. I've never seen that show. You find pictures of it though. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. This may not work. I didn't realize I had this. I love these missiles. Let me at least put them on here and see if this even works. It doesn't. Good, because yeah, these are like missiles to go back here or something. Probably not. I've got that on the back of one of the other guys. The Crimson Cuervo has those. I don't want to. Ah, yes, bending over on a weekend. I'm gonna hot glue gun this back down because it's like it doesn't go down. And I don't understand why it's not going all the way down. Maybe it's just too fucked up. Let's see. Well, I'm glad that I did yesterday morning all that stuff that I did in the garage, because I don't know if I mentioned this morning. I lost one of my lights. I had one light that was out, and was a splitter, and there's 4 of them, LEDs. The other one I think has like 6. That's how it came. So it came with 6. It splits into 6 lights, and just screws in the roof and the garage, in the 12-foot tall garage. And the other one is splits into 4. 2 of the 4 paddles, that's really what they are. They're about this big. Wouldn't work. They just eventually burn out or whatever. And then the other one was 6. So it was like, I was already thinking about getting more lights out there. Possibly attaching 2 more, so now there would be 4 lights total instead of just the 2 sets of LEDs. And yesterday evening, when you turn the lights on, the set of 6 doesn't work at all. So I went from so it's like not bright enough in there. So I ordered on Amazon. They should be in today. I'm getting delivered. Oh, it's delivered. Okay, cool. Well, excellent. Well, when we're done with this, we'll go install them. Not on video, but we had to get a ladder and all kinds of stuff. So but the lighting should be. I got the ones that had the most lighting available that I could find on Amazon. 50,000 lumens. So I don't know what 50,000 lumens are, but and I don't know how many lumens were on before, but it was pretty bright in there. Hey, what's up, Hoffman? But that's coming. This actually fits in there pretty good now. And it's 50,000 lumens bright. I hope so, because I don't want to even buy 2 other lights. Which I didn't buy because they don't have the right format. They just have like plugs in the. This is. I don't know why this is not seating all the way down. Well, let's do a couple things. Let's glue this thing in. Okay. Let's not burn my own cord. Jesus. Now where's Trick-Tark? I'm building a tow truck for you, damn it. They say 5,000 to 6,000 is around daylight. Well, let's see. How bright is 50,000 lumens? It might be too bright. It's not for residential use. Well, maybe it won't work. Maybe it won't work. It was relatively inexpensive. It was like 2 of them for like $41. I don't know. Well, hopefully I won't set my place on fire. And I don't know what was on there before. Go over to Mitch's house. Hey, put this light. I got a new light here for you. Burn this place down. No, I'll show it to you. I don't think it was extreme. Let's see. I don't think so. LED garage light. 2-pack bright 50,000 lumens garage light ceiling LED with 8 deformable panels. 6500, that's daylight. LED light bulb. Screw in E26, E27 socket with adjustable center spotlight for barn, workshop, attic. Why would that? Does not seem like it would be, too bright. Yeah, look, I mean, it's like it even shows you, it's not weapon. It's not a freaking weapon. Heat efficient dissipation. Widespread application. I don't see anything there that means do not put this in your garage or you're going to light yourself on fire. Okay, it's 50,000 lumens for both of them together. Okay. Because here it's 25,000 brightness. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Okay. We run our mouth enough to stride? Is it a weird word? They're all weird word salad. Let's find out what we're having on this salad. Oh, weird word salad. Polar Pra. One word. Polarpra. Polar Pra. Visit the Polar Pra store. Word salad. I know exactly what you mean. It's like we want to call it. They got to come up with different. How many businesses are there in Red China? It's not called Red China anymore. Well, I'm still calling it Red China. How many businesses are in Red China? More than anywhere else, right? So they got to come up with a different name that hasn't been used. So they have to start getting creative. Word salad. That's right. Oh, you weren't on here this morning, Hoffman. Okay, so we've got a report. Okay, we have Chat GPT news. Keep your pants on. So my mom came over. My mom, who's elderly is probably the wrong word, but she doesn't know. I'm working on this tow truck that's going to be called Toe Jam. And it's going to have a little boom box on it. Okay, so I explained to her how I made these signs using Chat GPT. So the best way was basically to go through and do one while she was here. So let me show you what it came up with. Since I know you're always fascinated by this, except I need to find out which website it is because there's all kinds of other Chat GPT, and I don't have the app. I just search here. Is it this one? No. Is it not OpenAI? Okay. This is for people say. Okay. Now why am I not coming up with it? Okay. Chat. Yeah. When I do this one, it does not remember. It doesn't remember all our stuff, so this is not the one we should be going to. It's not this one, it's not this one. I don't know what these people are saying. I don't care about. This is OpenAI, I don't care about more search results. Didn't have to do this the other day. Oh my God, Christ, why is this happening? Why does it not remember which one it is? Okay, it's here. Just somehow it looks different. God bless it. Okay. There we go. I needed this sidebar opened, and it wasn't automatically opening. Okay, let's go to Gaslands. God damn technology. So, in a nutshell, I couldn't come up with a name for it. So I'm like, make a billboard, and this won't be necessarily their official name, but make a bill. So this is why she was here. This is why I typed in, make a billboard. Actually, I didn't type it in. I spoke it. Make a billboard for a team called Dune Dudes, and it's for beach bums and other desert people for a game of Gaslands. I did it before. I didn't like that I put terrorists in there. Okay? And this is what we got. In like literally in a moment. Okay, why aren't you like open image? There we go. I don't know if you can see that clearly. Calling all beach bums and desert scum. Dune Dudes, ride or die in the wasteland. Look, even you get some chick. The chick's okay, but I mean the gun is like a make-believe nonsense. Surf, slaughter, and sandstorms. So she was like, wow, because it happened in, like 30 seconds, right? And then I said, oh, it gets better than that. I branched that particular drawing, and I said, because I got hippie-ki-yay over here, I said, change this picture to show the vehicle in the middle to be a Volkswagen microbus that is blue on the bottom with white on the top, and put that in the picture instead of the vehicle there. No, God bless it. Open. Just open the freaking miss. And look. Freaking crazy. From beach bums to desert scum, join the wasteland wipeout. And it even came up with like a little Gaslands logo down here at the bottom. Calling all sand savages and sun bandits. Well, there's a name for two other vehicles. Sand savages and, and sun bandits. There's something written on the top of this. Let's see. It's just some kind of make-believe hogwash thing. So this morning, so it's pretty freaking cool. She was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I said, yeah, we're living in the future. So this morning, where did we find where my box of those guys are? I moved them off to the side. I've been talking about a Russian team, or some Russian cars. Here they are down here. It's one of these premiums that I picked up. Did I lose you? The Russian teams. So this is a premium. It's Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL 6.8 AMG. Good Lord. And a Mercedes 500E. Of course, they're going to have AKs and stuff like that. Didn't realize I bought another one, so this will probably be repainted. A coupe. So the Germans don't get the Mercedes, the Russians do. This is something different. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what can we come up with it? I was going to put, hey, I'm going to put like a red star on them, right? Because it looks good. And I said, well, we could do better than that. So it was at some point during my live feed this morning, I'm like, make a poster for, because I was talking about this, like, let's just make another one right now. Make a poster for a Gaslands team that's all Russians that drive Mercedes cars, and the name of the team is called Red Square. Their logo is a red square. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wonder what that would look like. Look at this. This is incredible. That's all I told it to do. Open the image. And for you guys watching, This looks kind of blurry. It's not blurry. Lords of the Wasteland, Red Square, Mercedes and Mayhem, Russian Death Racers join the Red Square. Look, and it's got two Mercedes here and the Mercedes truck. The only thing I disagree with it is I don't want my Russians to have the tricolor. The tricolor is kind of lame. So I might just deal with it or whatever. But look, she's more attractive than any freaking person in what's that thing called? State of Decay. I was hoping to come up with something like Muhammad's one-way truck rentals. Well, we don't want to, we don't want to pay a target on ourselves, But maybe somebody's name other than him. One-way truck rental. Yeah, well, I just thought about it. It makes sense because then the red square is a double entendre because, you got red square and it's a red square. Then I got to pay rate. But I like the way red stars look, but, maybe there's something to that. And that's, with that little prompt, I got that, it was like crazy. I didn't even ask it. Now, are they holding the weapon? Do the weapons look legitimate? Well, it is an AK. There's some weirdness up there. That's pretty freaking cool. I originally wanted to do Russian Gremlins from the Kremlin, but then at least, they either all have to drive Gremlins or the leader has to drive a Gremlin. And you can't find Gremlins anymore at a reasonable price, and they're lame looking. And those Russian mafiosos drive Mercedes anyways, So, at least in the movies they do. Pavlov's dog whistle, AI is great for that. You'd be stupid not to use that. You'd be stupid not to use AI to create those posters. Oh, but starving villages of water. Whatever. Those villages that they're starving are all... We asked which ones they were, and they're all full of communists. So it's okay. It's for a good cause. Uh-oh, this thing I think got glued in a... There we go. Just have to push it down a little. No, it's still turning horde. What is going on here? Okay, that's good. That's lower. Aha! The problem is in the rear. You have a problem on your rear. What? There's a problem on your rear. Muhammad's one-way truck rentals. Well, I've got decal paper, but I haven't really messed with trying to. This is all like this happened with another vehicle yesterday. I forget which one it was, but we had to tinker with it. I think what happened is it glued, and then it's not too bad. There we go. That's better. All right, now. Oh, right ammo. Yeah, so I'm probably I'm over the number. When I did the inventory on what I have, I'm over that number. Because I found another stash like 15 that were already broken apart. That's what I need to focus on. The ones that are already torn apart or ready to go. That's still going to be a few. Now this primer sucks. I've just been handling it, and you can see that it's kind of come on. But you know, honestly, if I dry brush this metal, it probably would look okay as long as the metal catches on the corners. Probably should be fine. I don't know where the windows for this were. I have a feeling they weren't really usable, so we're going to put mesh across the front of this. Which one did I just finish doing? I don't remember. Oh, the douche canoe. What'd you think of that? I think I'm getting better at taking photos. I know that's definitely a thing. I'm better at taking photos. And I have to tinker with the settings. I don't like doing that because I feel like you're basically creating something that's not really there. The problem is this looks a certain way. When you take a photo of it, it changes what that looks like. So I'm trying to get it back to what the original looks like. And I don't like fakery, you know. I don't like, hey, let's make this look like, you know, what it doesn't look like. Well, the problem is I took a photo of it, and that's not what it looks like. Okay, so this is going on the front. I'll probably use super glue for this. Let's make sure this is all taken care of before we move to the next step. These are not the original wheels that are on there. There were these spinner type wheels that definitely looked like they wouldn't be able to carry the weight of this vehicle. This is a heavy duty vehicle. So I don't know where the speakers are going to go just yet. Exactly. I know rockets are going to go up here. I know we're going to put the front and the back ram on here. I don't think I need to use hot glue gun for anything. I don't think. There's not that much gap to fill. And this looks pretty good too. But this is all super gluey stuff. Nobody ever played Toe Jam and Earl? Toe Jam and Earl is like an isometric, silly ass little game from like 1991. Toe Jam and Earl video game. Yeah, it looked. You go and exploring and you'd encounter somebody who was like on a lawnmower trying to chase you down. Somebody throwing tomatoes. You know, just a silly ass. You know, that's what Toe Jam looked like. He's got a little clock on him like Flavor Flav. They were like some kind of alien rappers, both of them. All right. Yeah, Tritart came on this morning and reminded me about Toe Jam. He wanted me to do a tow truck. Like, no. Eso no. Glulandia. I'm going to do what I did this morning. I'm going to remove this. Okay, because we want to get to the juicy part. The jelly. The sticky jelly. Played a little bit of Toe Jam and Earl, but it wasn't my go-to game. Had a couple ones I liked more. I didn't have a Sega Genesis, but the best game that I've ever played for the Sega Genesis, Star Control. I know they made different versions of Star Control. I'm talking about the original one. Freaking great game. Probably wouldn't play it nowadays, a little too basic, but at the time, freaking awesome game. Okay, we're going to glue this across here. Something like that. I didn't have a Sega Genesis. Okay, and we have this one on the back that's going to behave like a, a back ram. That fits on there pretty good. So we're going to do here. Here, and we're going to do there. Okay, little rockets go up here. Can we center them? Because things off center drive me bananas. And there's a horn right there. Zenith Zelda, A Link to the Past, Kirby Superstar, and Age of Empires. Didn't have a Genesis, but your friend did. Yeah, that was me. That's several people that had. When the Sega Genesis came out, what was I? 91, 92, I was Poe. We don't want to go back to that. All right, where to put these little speakers? Well, they could be up here. They could be here on the side. They're just for looks. They don't have this speaker weapon. I mean, the urban guys already have a speaker. They actually have two. They have actually they've got three. Yeah, this was just for looks. The Boom Bus, Thump Daddy, and no, the other one's the Mexicans. They have that's their whatever the hell it's called, wall of amplifiers vehicle. The one you have to take a check or you flip. If you miss the check, you basically flip, which is like tossing a freaking. It's a huge EMP. So if I put that one there, and that looks okay, and if I put this one here, it doesn't fit. No. Not sure why. I could cut this and make it fit. That might be the thing to go with. It's really tight on this end. I think that's a decent place for it to go. I don't really want it towering over here. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of this. Still not? But yet it fits in here. I mean, are we close? I guess so. So that's about that same time period that I played my first. It was my first foray into Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because I had a different friend who had a Nintendo. What's the original one called? NES. And he's like, man, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about these Chinese guys. I said, why don't you play this guy named Cao Cao? I'm like, who? Never heard of him. I'm like 19 years old. I haven't played DBA yet. That was my first Romance of the Three Kingdoms foray. Alright, let's see how we did now. Yeah, it kind of fits in there. I think we need to... I don't know why this isn't centered. I mean, the crane is. Come on, dude. No, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's what we have this shit for. It's soft plastic. I don't know how that's going to work. There's a little... Actually, I need to take a pee break. I'm going to be right back. Alright, we're going to glue this, and when we're done with it, I'm going to put... I'm going to do an intermission, and I'm going to go install those lights while we have while we have daylight. And actually, what we'll do is we're going to glue this. We're going to prime these things, and then while the primer is drying, that's when we'll do it, and then we'll come back and do that. We're going to have to paint some of these things not black, because there's a whole lot of black on here. So... vibrator. No. Second speed. For some reason it's not budging on this thing. Alright. Use a bigger hammer! It's soft plastic is what this thing's made out of, so. There we go. The speakers both the same? Yeah, the speakers are both the same. Same size speakers, both of them. That one should still fit there. And this one will fit here. Like so. Okay. Dude, what the fuck? What happened? What happened? What happened? Yikes! Man. What happened, man? Maybe I'm going to have to stop after this. I don't want to pick up some of this glue on it. Make sure they are both the same. No, they are not. Oh, son of a road apple. These two, there's like a small and a large, and then these two are medium. Well, they'll just be different. That's how you get all the notes. Little one on the top. And then, yeah. Let's make sure these are vertical. We don't want any bullshit going on. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back afterwards. Oh, I want to get this guy done today. Okay, so this looks actually I'm not done. I'm going to go ahead and do the mesh. Okay, so that we can, and maybe by the time I'm done with the mesh, I can go ahead and prime everything. Now I want to get this guy done tonight. I don't know about this M&C since 1984, family owned. I don't know about all that. I don't mind that it's black because the wheels are going to be gold. I'm going to make the rims, or well, they're technically the wheels. Originally they were. You can see vestiges of goldness there. Vestiges of goldness. Excuse me while I bathe in vestiges of goldness. Alright, how are we looking on this thing? I don't know that I want... This should be able to fit inside here. Yeah, it's recessed. So I'm not going to use a side that has these little danglers on there, which I actually like the way they look. Let's use this one. This is already doesn't have little danglers on it. So we can use this size here, and let's not touch anything gluing, and we'll end up getting moved. It's fucking cold in here. Oh, I can't complain about being cold. That fan it's only on low. I'm like, it's like incredible. Let's go. How high are we gonna go? One, 2.5. Gosh, that's close. That's really, really close. So. Be really nice for it to fit in there recessed. Okay, this is good on this end. This needs a little bit more taken off of it. This used to never happen. You're cutting things and it loosens it up while you're using it. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to cut at the end of this. I'm going to cut these two little guys off. Getting some amazing weather for mid-April. It dropped to 53 last night. That's great weather at night. And I thought I was going to get some real sleep, but I thought wrong. Vivid dreams, night sweats, dead batteries. What's the dead batteries part? I always have vivid dreams. Always. Insanely vivid dreams. And they're nothing to get excited about. It's just, you know, always. Sometimes, like, exhausting. Especially that work-related. Like, man, did this really happen or not? Okay. Let me guess, it's all gone. This is being a rather a bitch. Overkill, but we gotta do something. I'm going to leave the side one open. I'm going to leave the side winder open. It's really little anyways. Two fire alarms died. Oh, man. I installed it on the same day. It makes sense when I'm awake, but it took me 15 millimeters to figure out last night. Smoke detector, whatever you call them. Yeah. Yeah, fire alarms. I knew exactly what you meant. Yeah. I always notice that when you stay in a hotel room, they always have like a flashing light that's usually like green, I think. And it's like, I see it out of your corner of your eye. You know, it's like I'm used to sleeping completely dark. I don't like any lights on. Okay, so that's what this is going to look like. Might even be copper or gold color mesh there. All right, I'm actually going to stop now. I'm going to stop now. I want to make sure my wife's got to do. I think she's got to do some work tonight, so I want to make sure that she's there to give me a hand, so we don't fall off the ladder, because it is a 12-foot ceiling. But okay, well, hopefully we don't burn the house down. I'll be right back in a few. Okay, okay, we're here. Okay. Whew! Let's prime this thing. So I installed the lights. I don't think they're any brighter than what was there before, but we will see when the lights are out. I have to like compare, but you can't because like they're out. So what's going on here? This is too large. I didn't know Yeti was from Texas. I have so many Yeti things. I've only bought one of them ever. Bought one of them for a trip. This was like something from work. I don't know how we got this Gator one. They're good. They're even better if somebody else pays for them. Okay. Prime time. Let's get rid of Glueland and bring in this one. Or prime all these guys in black. And I'm probably going to do the wheels too. Or the, yeah, they're technically the wheels. What people would call the rims. Which I did not know was incorrect. Well, I mean, I've known about it for about a decade, but before that, I didn't know. I just, oh yeah, it's wheels, and everybody calls them wheels. And I guess it's kind of like calling, horse-drawn troops cavalry. I guess it's kind of the same thing. I know. So what am I going to do if this is still wet and I can't do this? Well, we'll come up with something else. It doesn't take that long to dry, but it does take a little bit. Don't get none on you. You going back to work? Or I'm going back to work. Well, this isn't work. That's why it doesn't pay. I think that's one of the things you get paid to do work because it's not enjoyable. If you enjoy what you're doing for work, don't tell anybody. Be a secret. Pretend it's a nightmare every day. This thing's gonna look pretty good. I think. Hey, don't be kidding about work. Well, you could be working. You're working from home. Do the other people that you live with, do they actually go to work? Or, so basically throughout the day, you're home, home alone? Hopefully that's the case. You get some peace and quiet. One of the things I don't really enjoy is when people come to visit, which happens a couple times a year, like, and stay with us. And, let's make sure I don't have anything on here. And they're off because they're on vacation, they're retired or what have you. And I gotta go to work, and I gotta sneak around at night, and sneak around in the morning and be quiet. I'm like, I hate that. Makes you want to like grab a trumpet and wake everybody up. It's like, I'm going to work, you guys are getting up too. Or whatever. Yeah. You showed up for the Gaslands, you stayed for the trumpet noises. Sad trumpet. This is going to have a fair amount of weathering from the Iraqi sand because it's light color. Well, and the U.S. field drab as well, so that it stands out. Otherwise, it's just going to look like it just came out of the car wash, and it'll be nice and shiny, but like there's nothing to look at. It's the whole thing is damn midnight black, Toe Jam. Yeah, so Toe Jam is going to have. It's got a lot of stuff on it. Well, it's a 50-point vehicle. It better be. It doesn't have a lot of offensive weapons. It's got rockets, a grabber arm. That's what this thing is. You just have to pretend it goes around 360 degrees. It's articulated like a transformer, Rockets, grabber arm, a ram on the front, a ram on the rear, and has the perks of boarding party, which means they can still attack if they're touching an obstacle. An obstacle can be somebody they just rammed. So they have boarding party. They have taunt, which means if somebody gets close to them, they get a hazard put on that other person. And 2 stacks of grenades, which means they got 10 grenades. But there's 4 people in here. There's a crew of 4. So, boarding party. You ram somebody, and you have an impact, and you normally you wouldn't be able to attack anybody because it's normally move and do a collision. So you have a collision there, and if you didn't have a skill that allows you to attack while touching an obstacle, and a car is another obstacle, you're done. You can have all the weapons in the world, but you're involved in a ram, and it's like you're distracted is basically what it is. Boarding party means you're not distracted. So you hit another car, impact them, and assuming they don't blow up, right, or they don't go careening somewhere, you get to attack with all your weapons. So you'll get 4 pistol shots, or like 2 pistol shots, and 2 guys throw grenades, or 1 guy fires the rockets, and the other 3 guys fire pistol shots, or something like that. What's the largest crew you can have? A bus has 8, okay, and you can double your crew. That's the most you can pay for. So there is a vehicle that's going to have 16 people in it. Okay? And hint, it rhymes with a Crumden bus. The double-decker bus is going to have 16 people in it. It's going to be built around that. You know, it's got 2 layers. Like, why wouldn't you have the most people in something that has the most seats? You know, so just imagine taking, 16 pistol shots going out. Now, you got to get within medium range, but, a bus is, I think, 30. A bus is 30. 30 for a bus. And then you're going to have to add an additional 8 crew, which is going to be 2 times 8. It's going to be 16. So that for that alone, you're at 46 points. So it's going to be a hefty vehicle. But it's slow. But you better not get within medium range because it's throwing 16 dice at you. That's something. And they have 360-degree field of fire. I mean, that is something. London Fusillade or something like that. London Firing Squad, 16 dice just on the crew members firing pistols. That is deadly. It is a lot of dice. I don't want to build more than one vehicle like that, right? Like I've got 2 London buses. One of them won't have 16 crew. The other one, will have something else. It does sound really fun. Everything is like different, like memorable. The London Fusillade. Yeah. 16 dice is a lot of dice. The boom bus has normal amount of crew. But what it has, and it's slow, like it's the same speed as this. It's only in 3rd gear. Boom bus has the wall of amplifiers on it. Hence the name boom bus. Where is boom bus in here? Boom bus is, what color would it be? Blue. I think there's a blue card here for boom bus. Should be near white trash, I would think. Because white trash is a larger vehicle. I think the sheets are together. No. How big is the Butcher? 54? 50. Okay. So we don't really want to go over 50. Because then you start... I guess you could go 50 plus a buggy. You could do 63. I'm just trying to keep it, something in order. The Flaming Tosser. What'd you call me? He throws a lot of Molotov cocktails. I got him on the computer, but we're using the computer. Boom bus. Now, boom bus is only 34 points. Yeah, it's got 8 crew. And it has a wall of amplifiers. And that's it. And 8 guys with pistols. That's bad enough. 8 dice that can go 360 degrees. Yeah, and the wall of amplifiers, you set that off and basically it blasts everybody. It's like an EMP. So anybody within like medium range of it or something like that has to take a check. And if they fail the check, the vehicle flips. And you'll take 2 damage. It goes in like a random direction and it's like, it's like gets knocked out, I think that's how it works. Or maybe that's the thumper. I don't remember. It's pretty cool. I don't want every vehicle to have that. Wall of amplifiers. It uses up 3 build slots. It's like you're done with that. Wall of amplifiers. Medium range, 265. Okay, the rules are here. Wall of amplifiers. This weapon does not require a target. When fired, this weapon automatically causes one hit to every vehicle within medium range and within 360-degree arc of fire. These hits do not cause damage and may be evaded. Okay, so it causes a hit that doesn't cause damage. For each uncancelled hit on a vehicle, choose either one. You discard a hazard token from the vehicle or add a hazard token. So basically, you want him like running near your guys because you set off and it's like cool tunes that your guys are like groove with and like it calms them down, right? So all your guys would, if you got vehicles that are near you, you could take a hazard off. But anybody that's bad, it adds a hazard. So it's not the MP, that's a thumper. The thumper is the one that, yeah. It's a powerful sonic device that emits a shock wave that hurls nearby vehicles into the air. When this vehicle declares an attack with a thumper, every other vehicle, friend or foe, within medium range of this vehicle and a 360-degree arc of fire immediately makes a flip check, in which they count their current gear as 2 higher, up to a maximum of 6. So if you're in gear 1, it's treated as you're in gear 3. If you're in gear 4, it's treated like you're in gear 6. And the way a flip check is the higher gear you're in, the more likely you'll flip. And then if you flip, you're going to travel that distance, land, take damage when you land, or land on somebody else, and then roll. You go to a stop basically, and random facing. So yeah, it's really it's hilarious. And that's the whole point. Is that stuff is to be fun. It's funny shit, right? It's not like weapons that are made to like win wars and stuff like that. It's just like hilarious crap can happen to you. So this X-Men car. I feel like the name of it should have Comic Sans in it. Like the font, even though there's no Comic Sans font on it. Dust. I was up in parts of the garage that I'm not normally in. I bet there was dust up there, so that's why it feels like I've got a cocaine problem. And I don't, because otherwise in this 5 minutes I would have gotten all these done. Isn't that how it works? Let's go to chat. Chat did not do really well with this car. I mean, Comic Book Catastrophe is probably one of the best ones, but come up with a name that has Comic Sans in the name. Comic Sans Carnage, Comic Sans. Maybe it won't work. Panel peeling plunder wagon. Yeah, it's the X-Men one. It just says X-Men on it. It could be any. It just happens to have comics on it. So nerd comic shit. The Dorkmobile. That might not be bad, actually. The Dorkmobile. Weapon Express. I don't know. It's a bit lame. Oh, did I fuck up? No, I didn't glue it. Did I? No, I didn't glue it. Okay, because these wheels have to be replaced. And the reason why these wheels need to be replaced, these have centers and these don't. What is the... Oh, is this metal? This is going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. pulling these effing things out. I might just have to cut the wheels and glue the other ones in place here. All right, what kind of a fit and finish we have on the wheels? I can't really go much bigger, or I'm going to have to cut that out. And I can't just put this on top of something else because we need the second half of this. I got a shitload of wheels. Okay, well the ones I just lifted from this vehicle, I was missing a set. So I was missing a set of these gold rim ones. So I replaced them with other ones that I actually had 3 of. So I've got 2 of these. That just seems like the logical thing. Just put those on there. They probably fit on there just fine. That's the thing to do. Let me just find the other ones. They should be in here. Tweezers. That makes a lot of sense to go ahead and do that. And that way that's trimmed out. They're really decent looking wheels. All I gotta do is find them. I guess the other set didn't make it in there. They're somewhere else. Alright, well, there's somewhere else in here. Not those, not those, not those. Real easy to tell which ones they are because they're the only ones that would be gold. Not there, okay. Not there. Not there. Okay, cool. Okay, maybe they fell off to one side of the compartment. There's a lot of stuff in here. Nope. And no. I didn't leave them out here, did I? I mean, really, I could put these on front and these on the rear. That would be okay too. I actually did that on one vehicle. It's not noticeable that I did it. That's all. I don't remember which one it is, but it might have been. I don't know which one it is, but I did it. There's different wheels on the front as there are on the rear, like different style. You know. Not those, not those, not those, not those. It's not those. It's not those. Yet the body of it was in here. If you give up, you never find them. But I had it a couple hours ago. What are these the wheels to? Oh, this is the Riviera. Okay. No. Not down here at the bottom, huh? No. What the? What the? Fudgesicle. Okay? These are loose, which means where's the undercarriage of that vehicle? Oh, it's attached to it. No, I didn't use them on the front. All right. Oh, they're not here. Solomon Beach. I ain't giving up. I'm finding them. Okay, it's not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Really should probably put all the wheels on at once, but I got them where the bodies are because I'm not real particular about switching them out. And there's people that sell wheels by themselves on eBay or Amazon. What? That is not cost effective. You know, 4 wheels cost a lot more than a car, a lot more. Just buy the cars and do something else with the bodies on them. Wow. Okay, well, that's making me think they're not there at all. Okay. So where's the other container I pulled it from? It's here. This is what they were in. So maybe I left them in here. Here's some wheels. Is that them? Is it? I think so. So I actually found the one I couldn't find. There's the other two. There's all 3 of them. Well, I don't mind switching out the wheels because I wanted to get bigger ones. Well, instead of losing a set, I actually found a set. Okay, well, I'm going to save the ones that are golden. Okay, these other ones are golden as well. They've just been spray painted. Okay, well, all's good. Now, here's the tricky thing. And these definitely fit in here because they're almost the same. They're actually, yeah, they're almost the same. These are crimped in, and this whole thing is metal. So let's see how powerful this little fucker is. What would I want to enlarge that? Maybe something like this. Let's put this back because these aren't compatible with a lot of other things. Well, these bits only work with this machine for this machine. So this machine can't use like standard bits because the shaft is a certain size and it's held in there by magic, I guess. Well, I see metal flakes, so. Have a drink. It's opening it, but very slowly. Do something with more of a point. I think this is just over the ass it can handle. I mean, this wheel's no good to me. No, I haven't decided. You got a good one for me? It's the only comic vehicle I have. Well, yeah, it's probably the only comic vehicle I have. It's gonna have some kind of a laser weapon, probably. Now, all it is crimped closed. Got this from a used bin at the secondhand store. I saw it, I'm like, oh, Nerdburglar vehicle. Extremists, I don't know. ChatGPT suggests comic sins, binaural weapons that tells the player it has. Yeah. Kamikaze. Kamikaze. What about Kamikaze? And it has an exploding ram on the front. Kamikaze. What Jane Grey's on the front? What's Jane Grey have? I know she's got telekinesis or whatever. Is she like a flamethrower bitch? I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I think Kamikaze would probably work okay. It's got comics on it. The Chat GPT is helpful, but it's like a brainstorm. You know, it's like having like a bunch of advisors on your payroll. Kamikaze. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I just seem like it. Kamikaze. I think that would work. Definitely didn't have a dash. I don't know anything about X-Men. I've seen the movies once. You know, that's enough. And it doesn't necessarily need to be about the X-Men. It just needs to be about comics, you know? Kamikaze. Hijo de la grandísima puta. Come on, man. I'd like for it to use that little channel that it's in. That's the problem with having a metal bottom and a metal top. Like, you got nowhere to go, you know? It's okay not to know anything about comics. You're not missing anything. Okay. Put that in there and we can pry it open. This X-Acto blade's already, there we go, that's working. Persistence is the key to victory. I just need a effing screwdriver. I've got to have one here. I need to go to the garage. I don't want to go to the garage. Just a standard ass screwdriver. Probably because every time I found one, I went and put it in my toolbox. That's the problem with having a toolbox. If you have one, oh, hold on, there's something. Please don't be a Phillips. Please don't be a Phillips. Please don't be. You're not a Phillips. Not a Phillips. Although I much prefer Phillips things than Sanders. I'm just going to do scooch it in here and pry this open. Kamikaze. The Canva, I have not. My wife's the one that uses Canva a lot. I just, you know, if I'm doing all that stuff, I'm not painting, you know, so. Is it cool? All right. Let's see if this thing fits in here. It should. Let's expand this a little bit bigger. Kamikaze. It's definitely bigger now. Okay, we just dropped it in there. May not hold in place, but that's what hot glue gun's for. There it is, we popped it in there. Okay, don't want to put a lot of pressure up because it'll pop back out. There should be something holding it down. There is. I don't think we're going to make any modifications to this. Let's see how this thing goes together. So apparently there isn't anything holding this in place to keep it from popping up. All right, let's put this thing together. Comic Kazi. You like comics? I don't read the superhero ones. Yeah, I've never been into any of them. I like some of the art, but this is really a lot. Bend it over again. Okay. Don't let that glue land in. I'm going to super glue this down. And then we'll put a big old splooge of hot glue gun as well. Now, I don't want to put pressure on it because it'll pop it up. So there we go. There we go. And these wheels, we're going to save them even though they're, something. Okay. This guy goes together. That's why you work on multiple things. There's lots of things that we just added on that have metal on them. But there's not that many things that have gold. So I'm going to go ahead and put the gold stuff on, which is the rims. The wheels, rims. I have a hard time calling them wheels. A wheel's like, yeah, the whole thing's the wheel, right? Including the tire. No, apparently the wheels is just the actual thing that the tire carries. I'm like, okay, well, that's not logical to me. Let's start off with the bottom color in this. Let's do this one right here. What you need to do is, and good luck with this one, recommend an anime I might like. Probably won't like any. Probably won't like any. Should be like good samurai stuff, man. Like, The only anime thing I've even liked was that Battle of the Planets, but I liked that as a 7-year-old. Used to be a little yogurt shop next to our Pan-Asian quick service restaurant that we used to go to all the time. And I'm going to say the 2010s. And it was this place called Mochi. And it was self-service, and they charged you by the pound. By the pound or by the ounce. Good Lord. They charged you by the ounce. And they had all kinds of fruit toppings, and well, that's what I got, And they always had this anime playing in the background with that character. I think it's supposed to be Death or something. But he's not very scary, Death. He's got like a mask, and he's got like lines up and lines down. I don't know what he is. I never watched it. Didn't have the volume on, but they always would play that over and over and over and over again. And the art looks good. It's just the subject matter is not for me. And my brother used to watch, I remember, he used to watch, I guess it's anime, maybe, but it's French. What's that? The Mysterious Cities of Gold. He watched that when he was a kid. And I started watching some of it. I found it on YouTube. And when my daughter was little, like 6 or 7 or something like that, that was one of the things we'd watch before bedtime. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. Watched Transformers Prime. I think that was what it was called. That one looked good. That one looked really, really good. I like that. I think that should qualify as anime because it had the kind of sleek look of it. I don't know about any of the other Transformers, but that one. I don't remember anything of it, but. Oh, you got one for me? What is it? What it is? Japan has really interesting history, and to resort to bullshit is like, it just seems like, dude, you guys are just like, not, and the Japanese are proud of shit they shouldn't be proud of. I'm just saying, as a general rule, Japanese really aren't very woke. So like, do something with their history. It's not like they're going to be offensive or something. It's like, do some samurai stuff. All right, I'm going to do the, we're going to use tin bits again. Do that as the underlayer of the, now this guy can have red rockets. Okay, because, let's add some visual color to it. It's called the cockpit, but let me make sure. You sure it's for children? But I went in what is it, Crunchyroll? Crunchyroll's got a bunch of anime stuff, and it's got a lot of Asian programming. It's like, I go on Crunchyroll, and it's like, man, there's nothing there for me. There's no anime for me. Like, it's just plots that just would never interest me. It's World War II. Does it have to be for children? No. I thought you wanted me to suggest anime. No, I would like. Cockpit anime. Wasn't there like something? There was like an anime or something like that. That reminds me because I see a Messerschmitt 109G, haha, and probably some kind of Spitfire. And I saw something that involved a Messerschmitt and a 109 that was just a short thing. Oh, I like this shit right here. Ooh, I like this little sidekick on a motorbike. Hey, there's a Tony. There's a Kawasaki Tony. Okay, this is really cute. Couple of nips on a motorbike. Oh, I gotta come up with a Japanese. Okay, I gotta write this down. I don't want to forget this. You know how I've got the Mini Coopers, right? That they're all like really small cars or really cheap cars. Well, I got the same thing for the Japanese. And instead of Mini Coopers, they're Honda somethings or others. They're cute little vehicles. They look better than the Mini Coopers. Of course, it's a Japanese vehicle. Go figure. I'm going to come up with a vehicle. It's called Nipping at Your Heels. Nipping at Your Heels. Yep. Nipping. It'll be NIPPIN apostrophe. Gundam 083 is something you might like too, but that's going out on a limb. But if you like mechs, I do. And Top Gun, okay. The cockpit. Nipping at your heels. Yeah. The cockpit. I would like the cockpit even more if it was Japanese centric. So in other words, if it had like the Japanese in World War II. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's their, that's their people. There's got at least some of them, guys. See those two guys on a motorbike? Oh. I already came up with another one. Another vehicle that's maxed crewed out. So another one of those small vehicle. Nips ahoy. Just like four, I think they can be four. I can make it a compact car, and that's a crew of 3, so I ain't bump it up to 6 guys. OE3, one of your favorites of all time. The cockpit has 3 stories, 2 Japanese, 1 German. I think the Japanese one deals with those human-guided missiles. Oh, what are they called? Oka. That's dedication, man. All right, good. Let's seal this bitch. I like all the Japanese shit. I don't want to bow to anybody though. I'm anti-bowing. I mean, I know that's the thing, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. I don't want anybody to bow to me either, You said you didn't think I could name one. A guided bomb? Well, we could certainly have a suicide. Gotta have something. You could certainly have a Japanese suicide car that's called a Oka something or another. Okahana, Oka something. I'm gonna want to pay Rising Sun on it. All right, let's see if this seat closes up now. I love playing the Japanese planes and the ships too in War Thunder. I really do. I mean, the Japanese planes are, maneuverable, but they don't have a lot of firepower. But I don't care, I like playing everybody, really. Okay. What did we call this thing before I forget? Comic. Shit! I forgot already. Comic. Damn it! I gotta write all this stuff down. Kamikaze. Kamikaze. That's exactly how you spell it with a dash in it. You can see what the difference is. Kamikaze. Okay, this thing can be closed up at this point. Okay. So, I'm going to carry some stuff here. And people on the Gaslands groups are like, man, you're sure spitting out a lot of stuff. So why don't watch television? How much time do people, if people just got off fucking TikTok, which, and stuff like that, just go create stuff. It's cool, man. And it's therapeutic. Kamikaze. Yeah, I actually don't mind covering up this X-Men. And believe it or I don't think I'm going to do this. Because this is a weapon that anybody can use. Okay? These nerd burglars need to have like high-tech shit. Okay? I'm not going to put a high-tech thing on a vehicle from the 1950s. I'm just not going to do it. But there's like this set of like freaking, like this is like some kind of double laser cannon or something like that. Like that looks good on this vehicle. It may not work with Kamikaze because it definitely has to have an exploding ram. Yeah, the comic thing looks good on it. Honestly, looks pretty. It probably looks better than X-Men comics. Probably do. I've talked about this before, but I'm not really into comics, but when we used to go to Universal Islands of Adventure, they have that whole area, it's called Superhero Island. And they've got these big, I say life-size, but they're bigger than life-size. Almost like cutouts of certain superhero things. Like they've got like the Fantastic Four, and they've got like whatever that guy is that's just like a fucking head doing, Doctor Doom and different things, and they're like, they'll have like a building, but there'll be like a billboard of them. It's like a billboard, right? And the art that's done in the billboard is awesome. Like I love the way that those billboards look. Like really, really, really well done. If all comics looked that way, I probably would like comics. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see. Universal Islands of Adventure. Pictures. Superhero Island. Superhero Island. And I may not care about the story, but it's really good looking stuff. Let me see if I can find one that really gets the point across. it's hard because when you see things in person, sometimes the picture doesn't really capture the. Anyways, let's look at this one. It's got Captain America on it. The graphics look really good. I'll have to find some other ones. They're done. They're shiny. They're precise. The style they're done in is really appealing. Where is the one with Superhero Islands? Superhero Islands. Let's do the Fantastic Four. Actually, look really good. Fantastic Four. Let's see. Here's what I'm looking for, but it's not. Okay. Let's see if this comes out okay on the. It doesn't look. It doesn't look that. It doesn't look. You're not. It's not going to look good on the computer. But anyways, the style of it is done really, really nice. And in the bottom, it has like whoever the artist's sign is. It is this guy named like Adam Kubert or something like that. And I looked him up one time, and the stuff that he has in comic books doesn't look as good. I mean, it's like, here's Wolverine. Oh, you don't know anything about comics, okay? The guy with the nails coming out of his thing. And they're like made out of like sheet metal. It's like sheet metal and like painted or whatever. But anyhow, I honestly wouldn't have watched any of the movies if my daughter wasn't into them when she was like 10. She started watching like the cartoons and stuff like that, and then we watched the first X-Men movie, which I had seen on my own, and that's all. That's the only movie I had seen of the X-Men. And, I saw like one Spider-Man, and I've seen the Batman movies, and the original Superman, obviously that kind of stuff, but. How are we doing on the time? Let's go and give this guy an overbrush on this thing. I don't want to get too excited about doing this, but we got a name. That's who's going to be next. It'll be the first Nerd Burglar reveal. We got the COVID. Oh, I can't say that word. That's a curse word. We got the van of disease. The van of the invisible illness. This isn't even gold yet. This is just. Did they call it bronze? It's what I used it for. Yeah. Yeah. That's gold enough. You don't need to go like more brighter than that. That's plenty bright. That's plenty bright. All right, and now we need to get. Well, we'll use the Timbits. Up there it is. Timbits is stuck. I'm going to put these chains. We'll go over that, even though they're going to be traditional. A white metal color as opposed to a yellow metal color. We'll have this as the underlayer. Exposed to the weather and corroded. And same thing with these. But the whole idea, at least the way I've always thought of the whole idea, is let's make every vehicle cool. Let's make every vehicle fun to play. And I think, and I always ask people when they're done playing, is there any vehicle you didn't like playing? And I don't know if they've been lying to me, but they haven't told me they haven't. They have not disliked any vehicle. I don't dislike any of the vehicles. They're all, they all have advantages and disadvantages. As they should be. This grille is not going to be corroded, and it's also not going to be gold. I think that's too much. Nothing on here that needs to be that color. Let's go to traditional Iron Warriors. Got a bumper down here that needs some attention. And this grill as well. We've got these exhaust pipes. We need to go down a size. We're taking up too much space with that thing. That's way too big. What do we got here? Also way too big. Let's break this guy in. Oh, this is a shitty one. Perfect. Got a couple of strays there. Made sure not to get paint on those. So we have the exhaust here, the tank here, the fuel tank. That all needs to be metallic colored. Not fucking gold. Same thing over here. It's got one tank on one side, one tank on the other. Same thing there. I think we're going to make this metal the crane. There's some video game, I forget what the hell it's called. It was like a DC game or something. You create your own, one of those morgs, those MMORGs, whatever. You can create your own superhero character, and then you go and gain experience. I forget who the hell it was made by, but I played that for a little bit. It just got really freaking boring. I made some superhero that had like used guns, and I can't believe it's already 6 weekends going by too fast. It's 6? No, it's already 7. Yeah. Actually, today was slow at times, and other times it was really fast. Yeah, this hobby takes a long time to do things. I think this is probably mounted on some kind of a plate that's metal. We'll paint that metal as well. And same thing over here. This kick plate is also metal. Same thing with this. And same thing with that. Yeah, yesterday was really weird. Yesterday to me felt like a Sunday. So this has felt kind of like a long weekend to me. Okay, so we got a couple different metals there going on there. Okay, we can lose this now. Close this and go up one. The next color up, well, we're going to skip Lead Belcher. Lead Belcher is not that different than this one. We're going to go to, you know, let's use Vallejo for this. Let's use Vallejo. We don't ever use Vallejo for the steel. Natural steel. Look, I got shit on me. Damn closure of freaking Games Workshop. I like the paint, but man, the closure just subpar. Every time you open it, a little bit of goops out. Natural steel as opposed to unnatural steel. What color is this? Gunmetal from Army Paint. Let's not go there. No point in blacklining any of this shit. You're not going to see it. Be like, how to waste your freaking time. Make sure this one's not super precise. It's not terrible, but. Alright, we're going to need some water. The paints are great, though. And their original paints are awesome. And I have a few of those, but. I made the mistake of I saw this thing of like how to transfer them on a dropper bottles, and the problem is that they want you to thin it to be able to get it out, and it worked. But then when you get it in the other dropper bottle, you've thinned it so much that it's super watery, and then it makes a mess. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. I did that with what color did I do? I think it was this one right here. Good Lord, where's the name of it? Ironbreaker. I believe that's what I did with Ironbreaker. I transferred it into I bought aftermarket little containers like the Vallejo ones. Because I like their paint. I love their metallics. I know I'm not using them right now, but that's kind of a rarity. My first World War II figures were all painted with Games Workshop paints. At that time I had access to those, or like polyester, the Floco ones. And Floco ones weren't bad, but they just didn't have very vibrant colors. There's a shock absorber down there. Now, see if I can grab something that doesn't have paint on it. This undercarriage back down here. Maybe I'll put a little bit of metal so when we weather it, it won't just look like nothing. There's all kinds of crap back here, like a jack. Things I'll probably paint when it weathers. We got a horn. No, not like that. Nobody's going to get out of your way. If you don't mind, I'm trying to merge in traffic. Now, you got to lay down on that thing. You got some Old Glory Huns I mail order, and I use testers without any thinner to clean my brush. Ooh. Yeah, they probably didn't explain it to you. You know, I mean, you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse than tester's paint. Pack truck. And there's people in their 60s that probably have, you know, still doing some suffering PTSD from using pack truck. Rockets. I think I'm gonna wait on the. I think I'm gonna wait on the rockets. I think we need to do like the chocolate brown and see where it goes. I'm gonna go take a pee break and I'll be right back and we'll hit the chocolate brown. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and close this thing up. Huns. That's kind of a strange choice for a first army. Be right back. It was thanks to the Attila campaign Edge of Empires. I don't think I even primed them. Yeah, we wouldn't know that before the internet. So no idea what I was doing. Maybe 12 or 13. You're really into the Huns when you were a kid. Well, it's better than being into the Mongols. I hate the Mongols. Huns, okay. Huns did just freaking burn every freaking book they laid hands on. Was the Huns the last army I did? The White Huns. Yeah. I think that was the last army I did. Dude, those are the Byzantines. I really like the way the White Huns turned out. Like really, really good. I like the armies that are like, oh, these are like basically a bunch of peasants and nobodies. Let's paint them so they're interesting. You know? Then the Mongols too, fuck those guys. They ruined everything. What did they say that like 25% of Asian DNA, or even more than that? What percentage of DNA is like Genghis Khan has had his hands in whatever? But that's got to be like something ridiculous. I can say that I'm not related to Genghis Khan. What percentage of Asians have Genghis Khan blood? Oh, that's nothing. Nah, it was worded a different way. That says 8%. No, it's... You know what I'm talking about, where it was like, they just, the rape and pillage, you got the rape and pillage genes in everybody. It's like, geez, man. Like, calm down. Chillax, I'm going to, let's do the weathering first, okay? And then we'll do the rockets, because I don't want the rockets weathered anyways. And I'm feeling kind of like this is like drab, okay? And I'm sure it'll be fine, but I need like a little morale boost. Like, okay, promise me it'll look good, kind of thing. So, here's shield design for your Huns from the best books on the Huns. Just now? Or maybe way back when? Yeah, I thought the Huns were, the Huns were okay. I really wasn't into like the Roman Empire. I never really loved Roman stuff. I didn't hate it. It just was just something. But when I play DVA, I like Roman stuff. But I like the Republic stuff. I don't like the okay, you're like the guy running everything. Well, I don't want to run anything. I just want to sit over here in the corner with, my boy toys or whatever the hell it was that he was doing. It's like, yeah, it's not very exciting, It's like, well, we don't want to be soldiers. We want to contract that out to a bunch of barbarians. And it's barbarians fighting barbarians. And it's like, okay, I'm not really interested in that period, Although one of the coolest campaigns I ever played was a Fall of Rome, a Fall of Rome campaign in like Historicon in 2007 or 8 or something like that. I'm not saying that because I won, but I won. I did better than everybody else. But I was at Roman army, and I felt like, like some elite Grossdeutschland Panzer Division or something like that on the Eastern Front, like going over here and fix it and plug a hole and go over there and kill somebody else. And you got like extra points for like killing generals, and I killed like 7 of them. Oh no, when you were playing your Huns, said some good shield designs. I don't see anyone. Did I use them? I hope I did. The Huns are really, the Huns are, I would have built a Mongol army, just so I can say, oh, you could use those rat bastards, but. I came across a picture of my Huns recently, about a week ago, and I'm like, those fuckers look good. They look really good. First of all, the castings are amazing. Those castings from that manufacturer, that's the only ones I have from that manufacturer. I forget who the hell they're called. They just showed up too late. They showed up on the scene too late. They're just absolutely gorgeous figures. Yeah, you did use them. They were really good and simple enough to hand paint. I can hand paint complicated things. Yeah. And I don't think I played that army much. It's an army that just doesn't do well with the way the DVA is structured. Let's see. Let's go to photos. I wish I could do a search by it, but oh my god, this was decades ago. Well, let's see. Not really. Took a lot of pictures in Spain. A lot of pictures in Spain. Should just go to cover photos. It's probably there. There's a lot less stuff here. Okay, here is my Byzantines. Huns were the last army. Yeah, when you take the same damn figure, these 6 are exactly the same figure. You got to make them look interesting. You know, it's exactly the same pose. Yeah, I painted that background specifically for. Oh, where'd it go? Come on. I painted that background specifically for the Huns. Beautiful, beautiful castings. Beautiful castings. Yeah, when I made that catapult out of scrap pieces. Yeah. Just a commitment of like 6 months to paint something. It's just like, man, I want to paint something different. And if you don't put that on yourself, you'll never get it done. And then you never get to play with the stuff that you painted. The Pope, man, the Pope pulled some things out of his ass. I don't mean literally. I mean, like, miracles happened in many battles he was in. You just had to be there. I won a tournament with him. It was like a freaking miracle. Like, I was down like a bunch of points and I ended up winning. And he got himself surrounded. You know, I had to run about my mouth about performing a miracle, and it happened. It was some fun shit like that. Fun shit like that. All right, middle color. Put this guy away. There is. Nope, not that color. U.S. Field Drum. Where are you? Where are you? You look like. Nope. That's not what you look like. That's English uniform. English uniform. I think you said your Athenians were a manufacturer I liked, so I wouldn't mind seeing those either. I wasn't around when you painted the Greeks. Well, I only painted like 2 stands of Greeks. Those guys were Zyston. I got them a long time ago. And that's actually what got me to read. What do you call those things? The Peloponnesian War by... it's the first audiobook I read, believe it or not. Or had read to me. And it was not Audible. I think it was Naxos audiobook or something like that. And it wasn't... That's when I learned to love Alcibiades. That fucking worthless bastard. But Yeah, and I really enjoyed playing. I didn't finish the game; got too damn hard. Um, the Assassin's Creed game. I would totally use that as inspiration to build city-state armies. I mean, you got to know what you're looking for. Like you walk across somebody, that's a cool shield, but it's bullshit, you know. Or okay, that works. Or but there's a lot of stuff in there that's inspirational. No, they were Zyston. And I don't mind the separate shields. I just use like. Here's the other thing. There's a couple things when I was doing DBA that always would come up. There are things that always would come up that people would have issues with. One of them was the whole fogging of the clear coat. I've never had it happen. And the other thing is, well, what do you make the spears out of? Oh, I buy the Zyston spears. The Zyston spears are probably still out of them, always. They're really expensive. I just use like pins and needles. And people were like, oh, aren't you going to poke your hand? I'm like, freaking take a file to them. You only have to just file them like this, like you're done. You don't have to sit there and file it for a month. All you got to do is just take the edges off and you're not going to go into your hand. But people always were like, oh, you can't use that kind of stuff on there. You're going to hurt yourself. I'm like, what are you doing with them? I'm not walking on a bed of freaking needles, pins and needles. Like the pins were like perfect for them. They were right thickness. They're strong. You drill out their hand. Nothing's ever going to happen. Don't fall on top of them, but any of them would hurt if you're going to fall on top of them. So many people would be like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, okay, fine, use something else then. I'm just telling you that it's freaking awesome. I like drilling out the hands. And, same thing with, like, if you're going to do Zystons for, Alexander's companions and things like that. Drill those things. You never have to worry about them, Never have to worry about them again. Done. And so many people would freak out about that. I'm like, man, what's your deal? Like, how about try it instead of just like, well, hearsay is that this is a problem. Well, like, how about you try it? It's not. As a matter of fact, I go and I drilled out a lot of other things that already came with spears and put pins in them. You use Age of Empire to get you inspired for the Greeks. They have the scenario editor, so I do some cool stuff in there. Oh, the original Age of Empires? I played it when the second one was already out. Like, I went back, I already got the King's one. Like, I played the King's one first, and then I went back, I wonder how the earlier one is. And it's just it looks like ass at that point, I'm not much of a retro gamer, but you play the Egyptians, Greeks, and Assyrians or something like that. And the colors are we got red, we got the red guys, we got the green guys, and the blue guys. I think it's something like that. And it's they think we have some intermediate colors. So I thought that the King's one was a big step forward in that. And I played that one a fair amount. But that's a lot of the stuff that I have to do at work. Okay, you go do and you do this. And then they have no common sense and keep chopping all the fucking woods down. You're like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta put out a fire. You go put out a fire. You come back and oh my God, you've ruined this. You've ruined everything. Oh, I only knew about the first Age of Empires. You know which one I'm talking about. That's the only one I've ever played. I didn't play it much. The game that I got looks really interesting, and I just don't have the motivation to learn it. Is the campaign game, whatever the hell it's called, of the Field of Glory. I guess it's called Field of Glory Empires. And there's a guy that I used to watch his videos, and that was one of the things that he would play. Like the Field of Glory, combat game. Yeah, I'm decent at that because it's playing has a lot of DBA-ness to it, Then there's things that I like about it more than DBA. It's about 50-50. There's some things I like about it better than DBA, and there's some things in DBA that are better. You know, I don't like the fact that you don't have there's no general there. I don't like the fact that there's no pips, but I like that there's ammo and shooty things. Like, that makes sense. So I guess that's probably the best thing, you know, have a game that you like something else that you play better than, and then in some things it's better than. It's like, that's kind of cool. You know, it's not like, oh, it's not better than it in any other, in any way. Hearts of Iron 4, you have to bother learning it. Same with Crusader Kings. Hearts of Iron just doesn't interest me. I don't like any of those games, and I think this is one of those games, like Europa Universalis. Europa Universalis is, you know, I had really high hopes for it. But I don't like anything that's like, you have guys and you move from one province to another, so you get, and it's real time, so you see it move, and just before it gets 98% of the way to a new province, you're like, you already figured out how the battle's going to go, you get intercepted, and you go all the way back to this one. And it's like, yeah, that's just like a rug getting pulled out from under you. You know, I don't appreciate that kind of stuff. You know, that happens too much on a daily basis to me. You know, so I don't want to relive that for free. I don't want to relive it if I'm being paid. Yeah, but there's not a general stand. I don't think so. I've never been able to find it. I don't know. I played it a fair amount, and I don't remember seeing it. That was like my only. There's things I like about it. But I don't like the fact that it doesn't have pips. You know, I like the fact that you can't do everything you want. Not like, well, you can't do anything you want if they're not in bad order. Well, that's a given, but I mean, just in general, like, there's no miscommunication stuff. And I'm telling you, Blind General, that's even better. You play a game called Victoria 2, which is the same as Crusader Kings and Heart of Iron, but set in Victorian times. They're really chill, but also fun games. Yeah, I think Crusader Kings would be... You know, there's several characters of that period that are really interesting. Bohemond. Bohemond's a really interesting guy. And so is his... What would he be? Well, he's the bastard son. So... He's like the bastard son of a bastard. I don't know, was Robert Guiscard a bastard? I don't know. He may not have been. But Bohemond was. I don't know, interesting stuff. I wanted to build a Seljuk Turk army. They have a unit of like elite fighters. And the name of them is it the Agulani? Yeah, it's similar in that last name. Agulani. I'm not related to Seljuk Turks, though, thankfully. No offense to you guys that are, but no Turk here. Learning curve's 10 hours. Oh, no. Well, you know, the thing is like, you know, if you do it social, if you do like, hey, let's all learn the game together on whatever that thing, that Discord or something, okay, maybe. You know, by yourself, I'm like, man, I got nobody to talk to about this. I want to learn how to stream video gameplay so that when State of Decay 3 comes out, you guys can suffer with me. I really like unless it's significantly different than any of the other stated, I love and I'm not a zombie game player. That is a great freaking game. Those games are top tier. They're definitely like the best games that I've played that I have. And you know, with that being said, there's a lot of games I've played that I've put hundreds of hours in, but there's not something that's super old that I still play. Everything gets old, you know. Okay, this doesn't look bad. This does not look bad. Got to get away from this. This is running interference on it. It just needs some rockets. If I use white rockets, it helps tie this band in. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do. You know, you've got some white on here that you can't do anything about it unless you repaint it. I don't want to. Okay, so you're stuck with it. So I don't want to add red to it also. Now we could add like red tips to the rockets or maybe on the fins, but I think the rocket body actually needs to be white for it to make sense. Seljuk Turks, any Mezzanine armies and annoying, you need a different Byzantine army for the enemy since they're around for so long. Yeah. My Ottoman Turk army, man, I love that army. It's just, and it is just clobbered from a bunch of different, just a lot of different manufacturers. But those fuckers couldn't fight to save the paper, to save their life. You know, it's not like I wasn't trying to win with them. It was like for every game they won, they lost 4 games. You know, they're probably the most colorfully beautiful army I have. They're way up there, anyways. You know, because some of the medieval armies are cool, but they don't have like pink and they don't have green and they don't have blues all at the same time. And it works. It's not like it's like, you know, they're having some kind of Mardi Gras, you know, Carnival type thing. Like it works with the look of them. They're really cool looking, but just can't win with them. They have a lot of, they got to take a lot of risks to win. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean I don't love them, but. You know, the fact that Light Horse can't, get me out of that. The fact that Light Horse can't attack at a distance, that they can't inflict some kind of casualties without taking great risk and DBA is really, gives armies that have a lot of Light Horse a problem. All right, man. Well, I'll be on for, I'm going to do the rockets and then I'm going to go for a bike ride. So thanks for coming by, man. I'm going to do that now that it's a little cooler. What I'll probably do is this will allow me to finish this in the morning. This is far enough that we'll be able to finish these guys in the morning. Or this guy in the morning. These guys. No, this guy in the morning. How long have we been on here? Oh, geez. Well, we did have to take the break to put that light up. Which I could not have done that at night because there was literally no functioning lights in the garage at that point. Now it's just as bright as before, maybe a little bit brighter. Where the hell's Kevin been? I haven't seen Kevin in a while. Hope he's doing okay. All right, let's bring this up a little bit. I have a video on my channel about the Ottomans. An unboxing or a... Those videos are fun to do, but man, they're a lot of work. That looks pretty fucking good. That looks pretty fucking good. Let me see if I can get away with not adding red to it. Well, I think I'm going to add red, but just very little. Very little. And the reason I wouldn't want to add red is just add other colors in there that are really going to like run mental interference on stuff. Should I do it? Blue. Be worse. Let's do red. Everybody knows what those things are going to be if you do red. Let's not make the tips really, really big. Okay, that looks better. But I kept the red really small. Just so you can see that and you'll be like, okay, well, we know what that is. You know, it's just like, it's habit. Everybody knows what freaking red around rockets means, on tip on rockets. I'm like, we don't want to get hit by that. Got it. All right, this is where I'm going to stop. So, yeah, we'll have that, and then this, the Kamikaze will be next.